I'm Cherylanne Skolnicki, and this is Brilliant Balance, the show for working women who are ready to shine. Each week, I bring you ideas, inspiration, and insight on balance, business, and getting it all done gracefully. You ready? Let's be brilliant. This is episode 128 of the Brilliant Balance podcast. Well, hello again. I hope sincerely that you are doing everything that you can to stay physically healthy and mentally strong and emotionally resilient during this chapter of our lives. As I record this with COVID-19 ravaging our world, I'm trying to stay really tuned in to what is on everyone's minds. What is the changing inner dialogue? What are we thinking about? What are we talking about? What are we worrying about? So that I can be of the most service. And I think increasingly, as we adjust to this new rhythm of staying at home, social distancing, and constant hand washing, a new thought is emerging maybe and taking hold. And it's what if I lose my job? What if the career that I've been building for years now doesn't look the way that I expected it to going forward? Or, what if my company can't keep my role? Or what if they can't keep me? And while these thoughts are absolutely normal, 100% they are normal, just stopping there in the fear part of it is what's dangerous. So what ifs are scary at any time, right? They're scary whether we're in a global pandemic or whether we're not. And it's the uncertainty and the chaos that can really just about take you under. So to help you control what you can control, I've compiled for today 5 ideas for you that will help you stay on your toes so you land on your feet, essentially. I'm calling this career agility. So today's topic for the podcast is 5 steps that you can take now as a professional woman to maintain career agility during this chapter. And I am also going to host a free workshop online teaching these ideas in more depth the week of April 13th. So if that's something that you think you might want to do, again, it's a free workshop. We're going to do it entirely online, similar to if you participated in the Rockstar Working Mom workshop, 3 Steps to Rockstar Status. It's going to be a very similar format. So to register, all you have to do is go to CherylanneSkolnicki.com/career workshop. And once you do that, we'll send you a workbook, like a really simple workbook to outline these 5 steps that I'm going to share today. And then I'll be walking you through them during a series of live interactive broadcasts the week of April 13th. So if this is something that's really on your mind, it's weighing on your heart, and you want to take some action and control what you can control, then join me for this workshop. So it's going to be 5 days, the week of April 13th, totally free. Go ahead and get yourself registered. I'll have that link in the show notes for you. And then listen to the rest of this episode as a preview of what we're going to cover in detail during the workshop. Okay, so here we go. 5 things that I think you should be doing right now if you are a professional woman and you want to stay on your toes during this period of uncertainty. The first thing is anchor into your value. Okay. Now, this really involves mindset work first and foremost. And I think this step and maybe one other one are the hardest for the women that I've been talking to and kind of previewing some of this content with. This could look like reminding your current employer of just how indispensable you are, right? Just how much value you've added to the organization during the time you've already been there. It could also be about getting ready to market yourself for an entirely new role. But in order to do either one of those, it's really important that you are clear on the specific value you bring to your work. This is not the time to be super humble and modest about your accomplishments. It is not a time to be a shrinking violet and fade into the background, right? This is really when you want to go back through your contributions, your accomplishments, the work that you uniquely have contributed to the organization. You might want to dust off those performance reviews with the glowing comments. You might want to pull the emails you've gotten from satisfied clients or from colleagues. All of these assets can really fuel your fire as you get your head in the game and prepare to defend your worth to the organization. That is a really important first step. And it's one that I think a lot of women may step over, right? Might try to skip past without a bit of a nudge and a push here. So that's something that we're going to dig into as the first step. The second thing that you want to think about is drawing out or mapping out the timeline of your career. So I would think about it like this. Reflect back on all the roles that you've held throughout your career. And you want to look for how well does each one of them really sync up with your personal goals, with your purpose? Which ones lit you on fire? Which ones made you really excited to go into work every day? And maybe it wasn't even a whole role. I can look back on my career and there were times when it was a specific project within a role, or a specific initiative that we were working on that really lit me up. Maybe it was the people I was working with at that particular point in time and something about the way, we collaborated. So think back to all those roles and then think about how you can assess how fulfilled you were essentially by each one of them. Okay. And there's a lot of different ways to do that, but at a minimum, you just want to write down the litany of roles and some narrative about how fulfilled you were in each of those assignments. And also think about why you felt that way, because what you're going to look for are patterns or themes in some characteristics that you want to carry forward into your next career move. Okay. Whatever that might be. That's the career map. So at the end of those two steps, you should be feeling really clear about just how valuable you are. And also kind of the other side of the coin, right? What does the organization need to deliver for you to feel truly fulfilled and engaged in your work? And then you move to step 3. So the third thing that you can be doing right now is developing your personal brand. And I know this is a term that has maybe become overused in the last few years. It became kind of like a buzzword or a hot topic, but it's really relevant when you are preparing to potentially pivot or change something about your career, because it's rooted in knowing what makes you unique or what sets you apart from other people who might be equally qualified to do the work, to do the tasks of the job. Hey friend, ever wondered why you're so tired all the time? Why you need that afternoon caffeine hit every day just to stay in the game? Hint, you probably need more sleep. So I created something just for you. It's a special guide to help you stop feeling so tired all the time. I'll teach you my best ideas to move from exhausted to energized so you can live out your brilliant dreams. Head to brilliantbalance.net/sleep and get your guide today. You're going to love this. So let's pick something like you're a CPA, okay? Your qualifications as a CPA, do you have the right certifications? Have you passed the right exams? How many years of experience do you have? All of those things on paper might, make you look exactly the same as a number of other people who could be considered for the role. So what is it about you and your approach or the types of clients that you work specifically well with that makes you the most intriguing individual to be in that role? And it's so unique to each individual person that you're really going to have to give some thought to how your personal brand has made you magnetic, how it's made you indispensable inside of your organization. The principle I would have you think about here is that people hire people. And you never want to forget that even though you could line up 10 resumes and those people could look exactly the same, right? From candidate to candidate, their personal brands will be very different. The way they would plug into an organization and fit with the culture or contribute to things beyond just the tasks that they're contributing, that's really where companies come alive. So never forget that people hire people, and you being clear on what your personal brand is and then knowing how to communicate it can really be a point of difference for you as you navigate a search. And again, this search may be internal within your company. Your biggest move may simply be to a different role within the same organization, but it may involve you marketing yourself to an entirely new organization. And that's where I think personal brands can become especially relevant. Okay, so that's the first three. First one was know your value, anchor into your value, draw your career map, and then develop your personal brand. The fourth thing is to polish up your LinkedIn profile. Now, you might instinctively think, I have to update my resume. My resume is outdated. I haven't updated my resume in a while. And that will come. There will be a piece of this process where you want to have your resume current. But actually starting with your LinkedIn profile is a better move because it's more broadly visible. Right? Our resumes are not posted out there for all the world to see, most of us at least, but our LinkedIn profiles are. So you want to make sure that your profile is current, that your experience descriptions are up to date, that it has enough detail for people who are looking at it to really understand what you've done. It needs to have a decent headshot in place, right? This is not the time for the selfie where you're cropping your kid out of the picture. You want it to be something that's a good representation of you, and you want that summary statement to be really strong. So your LinkedIn profile is something that you can be paying attention to right now, even before you've potentially begun to execute a search. And a lot of people are concerned that everyone in their network is going to get notified when they've updated their profile. You can turn that off. If you don't want to start broadcasting that you are polishing up your LinkedIn profile, you can turn off. It's like a toggle switch to notify your network that your profile is being updated. So rest assured, you can do that one a little bit under the radar until you're ready. And you are going to need to get ready because step 5 in this process, the fifth thing you want to be thinking about for career agility is to be visible and vocal. So the reason this matters is in order to position yourself for a career move, you're going to have to talk about it. Like it's sometimes the most difficult piece for the women who I'm advising because they worry so much that if their current employer knows they're looking at options, that they'll lose their job or they'll lose their status in their company. Or they worry that their peers or their friends might know that they're starting to think about a change. But here's the thing. If no one knows you're looking, then no one can help you. And being visible and being vocal about the fact that you are potentially on the market and want to understand what your options might be is the only way that you're going to make a move happen, okay? Your power, your greatest asset in this time when you may need to execute a job search is your network. And women hate the word network, right? I don't even like the word network, which is why I think of it most often as widening your circle. Thinking about who do you already know that you can comfortably have a conversation with about your skills, about your experience, and about your interests. And you might want to set up a video call with them, like a Zoom call. You might want to set up a virtual coffee date just to share your story and talk about, what you're thinking and explain the work you've done historically and share a little bit about what you might want to explore next. And here's the magic piece. At the end of every conversation, you want to ask, who should I talk to next, right? Who should I be talking to? And let each person lead you to the next person. Because ultimately, you will be able to follow this chain of connections until it leads you to the work you're really meant to do. Very powerful to activate your existing network and then use your existing network to widen your circle and grow an even bigger network of connections. So much magic, so much power in that, in getting connected to opportunities, okay? So the thing is that taking these steps, any of these steps, ideally all of these steps, is going to help you if you are feeling anxious about your ability to keep your current job or your ability to navigate to a new one. So these are helping you stay in a state of personal agency where you don't feel like you're being victimized by whatever is happening around you. And instead, you're controlling what you can control, okay? The last thing I would say about this is you want to start today, okay? If you're feeling anxious and you're already stressed about this, the sooner you start taking action, the sooner you start feeling better. So you want to get ahead of the curve. And the way to manage through this emotion is to make sure you're taking action. Okay. So if all of these things I've shared today sound like steps that you need to be taking, but you're a little concerned about your ability to schedule them into your week or hold yourself accountable to getting them done, or you're just not sure how to do some of these things, then you definitely want to join me for that career agility workshop. Okay. Totally free, starts on April 13th. Totally executed online. You do not have to leave your house to participate. The truth is, most people are not yet taking these steps. But inside of our client community, we are already helping women execute them. We are already helping them manage job transition. So the sooner you take these steps, the better prepared you'll be to make a meaningful contribution in what could be a very new economy. Okay, so that link is CherylanneSkolnicki.com. That's a lot to spell. So it's in the show notes, CherylanneSkolnicki.com/career workshop, all one word. It's April 13th through the 17th. It's all executed in Facebook. So when you register, we'll send you an email and it will tell you how to join the Facebook group and how to get your career agility workbook that we'll be using to help you stay on track during that workshop and execute these steps that I've been talking about today. It's interactive, meaning that every one of those broadcasts, you'll have the chance to chat along, ask questions, get support from your peers, and get support from me personally as you prepare to land on your feet, no matter what is happening in this economic environment, okay? All right, that's today's topic. Next time, I am sharing some ideas for how to rebuild your village of support virtually. When you can't leverage all the support systems that you've come to rely on, I am seeing so much creativity, so much innovation in the way women are rebuilding our villages virtually. And I want to share all those ideas with you to inspire you to rebuild yours in ways that may transcend even this temporary period of time that we can't activate our in-person villages. So please stay healthy, stay connected, be kind to each other, and until next time, let's be brilliant.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.